enough snow. I've been ready for spring since January 6th. So. Anyway, we're still carrying on, and Jerry Corbett is going to be doing our feature artist tonight. So he brought some interesting work I could see, so I'll leave it to him to talk about it. Give us a little history and how you started as an artist, or what inspired you. Okay, go from there.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight on a rainy night and coming out showing your support. I'm a happy member of Wet Paints.
And you are?
And
Happy camper.
And you are?
and I am.
Who are you?
I'm Jerry Corbett. Yes. Okay. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Okay. I always loved art and drawing and painting. And one of the things I want to show you is going to bring back a little memories. Is one of my first books. You remember?
John Aggie.
John
Aggie.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Raise your hand, everybody who had one.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but did you have a watercolor set?
Not watercolor.
this is a little, in St. Monica's, I was born and raised in New York City on 77th Street, between 1st and New York Avenue.
Yeah.
And it says on here, 1954 and 1955, Gerald Corbett Recognition for Art Program. And I'm going to pass it around. So this was starting to light my fire, going back. I was born in 1943.
Ooh.
And so it's one of the things, and behind, on the other side, I got a little, it's something when I completed a little art in all the, you know. So most of my life, I've always been interested in drawing or painting whenever I got a chance. But, you know, in the hustle and bustle of life, you have to live your life, and you don't always have the time to devote to your art. So at 19 years old, I met my lovely wife Eileen.
Raise your hand.
And in 1963, I met Eileen, and we went out together for 2 years, and I got married in 1965. And in 1967, we had our son, Glenn. He was married with two daughters. And my main job was taking care of my wife and my son. So I couldn't devote all the time to my art. See? So what I would do is, in 1973, what we did is we purchased our first house out here in Suffolk County. And in the basement, I set up a little studio, and I started taking some lessons from Rafael de Soto in East Patchogue. Yeah, and at that time it was maybe $5 for some lessons, and every time I could get away, I'd say to Eileen, I'm going, you know, to learn a little bit more from the master. So he would show you how to mix the paints, and you don't get to know that unless you've been doing it for many, many years. So I did that, and I continued working. I worked for 32 years with local 32BJ, and I retired at 62 in 2005. And then I could give myself the time to devote to my art. I got some of my notes here. I want to say I've been taking classes at different places. Watercolor with Mr. Cheeseman, and I'm going to pass some of this around here. This is something from the union that I belong to, 32BJ. They had an art contest. So you submit some of your works of art, and I submitted mine, and I got a ribbon and some recognition. So every time this would happen, it would light my fire to continue to vote more time. My wife's sitting there, she's bored.
What kind of work was that union, Jerry?
I'm sorry?
What kind of work was that?
It's
Fire safety director.
fire safety director, it's the commercial buildings, office building workers.
Yeah.
And so I was a lobby fire safety director, and for the 32 years I worked in that building. And at 62, I took my pension and my social security, and now I'm happy ever after. To my life. So this is, I'm gonna pass it around, and this is for that horse that, remember you pointed out I had to put some? The people that I painted their horse, they gave me this letter, they love it too. So look at the front and look at the back. I'll pass that around too. I get motivated by different pictures, whatever motivates me to start the painting. For instance, this here, I titled 51 and 47, these are two boats. So, I just got involved in it, and you know, when you're painting, the hours go by. You're just involved in it, and then you keep working on it, and you complete it.
Where was that, Jerry?
I'm sorry?
Where was that?
This was just taken from some pictures, when we were in Bayville, yeah, where my daughter-in-law lives, and, so, we took some pictures there, and I did, this picture. This I had gone, Mr. Cheeseman was giving watercolor classes. I don't know if anybody knew Mr. Cheeseman? Joan? By the way, I want to give recognition to Joan because I was taking classes I got back into the art in 2005. When I retired, I took my wife to lunch at the Arboretum, the Bayard Arboretum. And while we came out after lunch, I walked in a room where Jack Dean, I don't know if any of you know Jack Dean, you know Tom and Mario, and he was giving a one-man show. So he was speaking to me and my wife, and he was telling us about his work, and I had mentioned that I just retired, and I'd like to get back in doing artwork, you know? And so he told me about a group that met every Tuesday in Smithtown. And he says, you're welcome to come over there. He says, you bring your work and you do your stuff, and you know, you might enjoy yourself. So I said, give it a try, right? So I got my stuff and I went over there. We became friends, and he started painting and other people painting, and the years go by. And I would see at Sachem Library, Joan, and Joan would mention to me about wet paints, you know, and she'd say, why don't you come by wet paints sometimes? So I says, I didn't know anything about wet paints, so I looked into it, and sure enough, I wound up coming by, and I said, wow, this is good. These people here, a lot of, you know, do beautiful work, you know, so I says, I'd like to join. So I'm happy that I'm a member, and, you know, I was in.
Jerry?
Yes, sir.
I see Charlie once a month we have the same doctor.
Okay, Charlie,
Cheating.
oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he's not that well.
No.
Yeah.
Nice man though.
Yeah, wonderful man.
They all love him.
And, yeah, my wife and I had taken some, right, honey? You took some watercolor? Yeah. So I'm looking at my notes, so I don't go and, okay. So I did mention that Joan had told me about wet paints, and I,
Did you find us drilling right away?
I'm sorry?
Did you find us drilling right away?
Yeah.
Oh, it took
With your
time.
expertise, and all these nice people.
And you joined us?
And not only that, but you get to know other people
Yes.
that are very talented, like Judith Davison.
Yeah.
So I started going to the Rainbow Senior Center in Lindenhurst. Now, a lot of people would say, Lindenhurst, from out here in Suffolk County, that's too far. I don't want to go over there. But I got in my car and I drive over, and Rosanna is a member, and other people, and this is a pastel I had done, and this is another pastel I had done of, so I get involved. When you get involved, going out there and attempting different things, you get benefits coming back to you, because, and there's so many talented people that you pick
You
up
learn,
certain things too, see?
Did you paint plain air only?
I did plein air only once. I went to one group, I think, our secretary, Lori, she was at one of them, you know. But I want to get more involved in that. And I think you're involved in plein air too, Carol, right?
Sometimes, yes.
Yes. So, let's see. Okay, so I'm kind of up to date right now. Now that I'm retired, I just like to do landscapes. I want to get involved more with portraits, but with portraits, it's like anything else. You got to drill yourself. It doesn't come to you. Sometimes you'll get better results than other times, but you never give up. You got to keep studying the human skull. I have a library at home where I have a number of books that talk about the anatomy of the skull, the eye sockets, and the shadows. All of this stuff you have to take into, absorb. And once you absorb that over a length of time, it comes out of you when you express yourself with your art. So it's something that I'll wind up doing till the day I die. That, you know, I'll just keep at it.
Very
Yeah.
good.
The main thing is we want to stay healthy and keep painting. That's it. So,
You do both.
That's the main thing, stay
Yeah.
healthy.
so that's, I want to pass, this is when I was working, I was still painting. This lady was a model, and one of my paintings, she bought from me.
Is that a check?
And it's a check that I framed, I forget the date, it was $25 in 1983. So take a look at
Isn't it
it.
nice to receive money for doing something you love?
Exactly, that's the great thing about it. I want to create the art, and I want to get it out there. I mean, anybody that's interested, that wants to purchase it, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
You see? Because last year, we have 3 bedrooms. My wife was nice enough, one of the rooms we weren't using.
Make the studio.
So she said to me, Jerry, instead of you down here in the dining room, you know, with your stuff over here, would you like to take one of the rooms? So I said, honey, you're a sweetheart.
Not that the room was empty, the room had a nice big desk, had a
It did.
computer.
And that's why I didn't want to disturb it. Because I said, do you really want to do that? But she says, you have to go in your own room and do your art. So
It's the best way. That's very nice, yeah.
it's nice because I could go in there, close the door, put on Pandora, and work on my art. See? So I want to pass this around. That lit my spark also to do more work, and so this is what we're here for, to make beautiful works. And
Where are these pictures from, Jerry?
this was some upstate. I had taken some pictures, and I finally got around to it. One of the things that I've been doing is I have a digital camera, so I'm carrying it around with me a lot. Like even right now, with the snow, it's like a nice, beautiful white blanket. You can see the shades and the shadows, and if you get time to stop and take pictures, because this way you could go back and work on them, unless you know,
Yeah.
and create beautiful works. The one I did of the horse was at the stable here in Islandia, over there.
I landed.
I had stopped in there and asked the manager if it would be all right to take some pictures of the horse while they were outside. I was going to my art group in Smithtown on a Tuesday. I always passed that road, and I always seen the people outside with their horse, and they help handicapped children and stuff, and it's a non-profit organization. So I stopped in there, and I asked, would it be possible to take some pictures? And they said, sure. So I took a bunch of pictures, and then I started working on it. And, you know, that's how it goes about. You know, just go out and find these beautiful places and paint these beautiful pictures.
That's it.
And that's about, says it all.
How about the little sailboat?
Yeah,
This one here, I had seen a picture of it, and my wife liked it. I'm not crazy about it. But the colors, you know, the colors, I find that if it's not myself that's not that crazy about it, somebody else might find it interesting to their liking. And it's not always what, you know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's very nice.
My friend Jack Dean, when I had completed this painting, he told me, Jerry, this frame stinks. It's terrible. He don't mince words.
That's to the point.
So he said to me,
Stinks.
Jerry,
Yeah.
so I said, Jack, you don't like the frame, but I like it, and that's what counts.
That's what counts.
So what happened is I put it in the arboretum and I won a ribbon. It surprised me because they hired a judge to come in and they put a ribbon on it. So I said,
For the frame.
ain't that amazing? They didn't like it, but they liked it.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you know if he liked the painting or he liked the frame?
I don't know.
Both are beautiful.
But I like, you
But
know,
they
you
are
like
all
the ribbon.
together. They are all together.
Okay,
But they're beautiful.
but thank you.
They're very beautiful painting.
Like I say, there's so much you can work on, and this one here is a smaller one.
I love
I had
That's
sold
fantastic.
a larger one of this at the Brush Barn in
It's got the
Smithtown.
light.
Mario, we had to show you, you were there when I sold it?
Didn't you bring that in for critique one time, the larger one like that?
Possibly,
Yeah.
yes.
Where is that?
That one I sold, a husband and wife,
It's
yeah.
very beautiful.
They liked it. I'm sorry?
Where was
In the
that?
Arboretum?
Yeah.
This, yes, it's
I recognize it.
from different pictures, yes, that I took and,
That's very beautiful.
yeah. So
Jerry, are these
that's about
oil
it.
or acrylic?
Any questions? This is an acrylic.
Or acrylic.
Yeah, these are acrylics. When I started out, I worked with Rafael de Soto. I was working in oil. And then I found that this is much quicker. Oil is beautiful if you got the time, because you could mix those colors and you could put it on. But I didn't have the time, so I found that acrylic I could work with a little bit better and quicker. So I tried to master that a little bit. This is acrylic too, and these here are also. And the idea is you want to put a beautiful frame on them too. Sometimes I might not have the expertise where someone else might say, if it looks good to me, I'll go with it, but I could be wrong, you see? But you gotta take a chance and go with what you think, see?
Did you bring that dog in for critique one time?
It's beautiful.
Yes, I did.
Very
Yes, I
beautiful.
did. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is something I just,
Very charming.
I've been attempting, I'm not as skilled as I like to be, but I was pleased with the result.
Yeah.
So I'm going with it, you see? And I know if I keep working at my craft, you know,
Put the
hopefully
expression.
you'll get better. You know, it's like anything else. So just no further ado, I thank you for
Any
everything.
questions?
Any questions? Anybody have a question you'd like to ask?
I'd like to just say, I like the way you capture atmospheric perspective.
Thank you, Tom.
It carries you right there and you can see the distance.
Thank
Very
you.
beautiful.
Yes,
Perspective wise, you're good.
thank you.
Yes.
And I've got in my library a number of books. Anything I find that, you know, really touches me, I'll go to Amazon. Because Amazon, you could get it like brand new, and they put it right out front of your door at half the price. So if I see a book that I like, I'll go on Amazon. If it's not brand new, it says like new, and it comes in the mail in front of your door, just like new. You know, it might have been open, they considered that's not new, but,
I got one.
so,
You can buy anything.
it just goes into my library, books that I want, that interest me. Or an artist, some of the artists that I like,
That looks slow.
It's,
Brand new. I think I picked up.
Walt Kunstler, he does a lot of the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
he does beautiful work.
He's
When
devoted
I
to
see,
hating.
when I see his work, you know, I say, this is some beautiful work.
King of better.
Yeah. And,
He did
There's so many
the
others.
new George Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, he did the remake of that where they said it's the actual
Realistic.
crossing line.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
More true to life.
and,
He was talking Italian in that one, right?
so, that's about it. Any other questions?
What years did you do all those pieces?
This I've been doing, let's see, this one here I did in 210. This one here was 208, the watercolor. I have to not put the year on all of these, right, Nikki?
May
You
I
had
suggest
mentioned
that you
This-
should not put, on your painting, you should never put the year. Never.
Why is that?
Because you cannot, first of all, you cannot exhibit it easily.
Okay,
You see
that's
two or
right, if
three,
they say
they'll
it
oh, that's
it has to be a new
201.
word.
That's right.
Yes,
So
good point.
be smart, don't put it in the back for your own memory.
Yes,
And but never in the
yes,
front.
that's one of the things
Well, if
also.
somebody's looking, they say, well, this is 12 years old, if nobody else liked it.
Yeah, that's
Right,
right.
good point, very good point.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so-
didn't they, in the old days, put the year of paint on
They
paint?
did.
Yeah.
The old days they did.
Yeah.
But they didn't do outdoor
None of the
shows then.
masters,
Yeah.
they put a year on.
No.
This one I had just done, so,
That's beautiful.
yeah, I attempted here,
Okay.
and, this has no year here, so. I'm not
I like it.
That's Judy Davis's husband, right?
Yeah, Judith Davidson's husband, I like the way I got
The
the
hat.
hat,
It's really good.
you know, and I have to get some kind of frame for it. And I enjoyed working on it, and I surprised myself because I'm not really as skilled as I like to be. But I know that if I keep at it, you get better.
No,
That's
it
the only
is, it's
way.
very good. The main thing is, the mistake is you put a dark mat around it, which makes it very monochromatic you don't allow the face to pop out. You see, by painting a dark mat, you're receding the portrait.
Thank you for that critique.
No, I'm not critiquing, I'm saying it's very important, because Mike says it's a very good portrait, and it will come out only if you place it in the right color.
This is,
Green
I
color.
just had put that temporarily.
Yeah.
So I could always change that.
Or you
See, I
can
just
change the
put-
mat, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I had just
Symmetrical.
put a
Yeah.
little tape on it, so I didn't frame it or anything.
What's
I think I had this in the house, so I said, let me throw this on, you know,
Colors just.
but,
But if
You know.
you're wearing a tuxedo, would you say, let me put on sneakers?
no, unless you're a rock star,
That's
right? They could do
You should
that.
think always about your painting.
Did you ever catalog your work, like do, take photographs of everything that you've done and put it in an album?
Yes, I do
You have?
have an album, and I have photographs. I had done a portrait of, I had a commission to do an Irish,
Setter.
the Irish setter? A terrier, Irish terrier. And I sold that one, and I had taken a picture of it. I sold it for I'd said $170, but he says, the husband and wife, they liked it, they said, I'll give you $200.
Oh,
I said, I gotta give you $30. They enjoyed it.
I think so.
Yeah, so I have a picture of that, and,
Send them, can you send that person to me?
yes, I will. I'm gonna be your bird dog. So that, any other questions?
I love that one. I love it with the frame.
Which one?
It gives me an
The bird.
oriental
Yeah, I love that
feeling.
too.
Yeah.
It has an oriental
Oh.
feeling about it.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
With the frame.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or with the frame the way it is,
Yes.
yes.
I hope to sell
Perfect.
that. We're gonna have a show, the Smithtown Art
Beautiful
Group,
paint.
in April at the Brush Barn.
I bet you will be
And
sold.
last year, I had sold, you're gonna be in it, right, Mario?
No, and unfortunately, the dates are not good for me.
I think we give 20% of whatever we sell
Yes.
back to them for the 2 days.
Well, that's
So
pretty good.
that's
Usually
nice.
take 50.
And this is one of the great things about getting involved with the different art groups, that you have different shows, and you don't know what could come up. So you just put yourself out there and enjoy yourself.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so I wanna,
Yeah,
yes,
the North Shore Art Club's having a big show, I think it's the first of the month.
This one.
It's gonna be there for a month.
You should come and see there, they have some beautiful work.
okay,
You have some few pros in that group too.
very good. I always like looking at beautiful works. I'm
How
thinking of even
how
going
many clubs do
into,
you belong to?
I belong to 3.
Wet paints?
Smithtown, and I was going to, with Judith Davison, with the pastels at the
Where?
Rainbow Center in Lindenhurst.
In Lindenhurst.
In Lindenhurst, right. So if I'm free, I like to get over there and do my thing and practice.
Could you name those clubs for your tape?
Which tape?
Your tape.
The one that
Now,
you're making now.
name
Yes.
the clubs.
Oh,
White
the
tape.
Rainbow Center, yes. And, yes,
And wet
the
paint.
Smithtown Art Group, my friend John's got all of this down.
Yeah.
The art group and the wet paints, the main group. And I got lucky by, one time I wanted to go to the Salmagundi Club,
Ah,
and that's, you know, it's a famous place,
they
right?
have open,
So I had said I was gonna go and take the Long Island Railroad into the city and go and visit. So Terry gave me a buzz and he said, do you mind if I come along? We went together.
yeah.
And I said, ain't this my lucky day, because I was telling my wife Eileen how wonderful an artist Terry McManus is. So I says, imagine this, we'll be right, I could pick this guy's brain. What kind of paper he works on,
Yeah.
you know, and ask certain questions, and I said, you can't get better than this. So
Yeah.
this is the great thing about a club, where you get to meet people,
Yeah.
and they open up and they share their knowledge with you.
That's right.
Wonderful.
To give you the importance of what John does, when he did me in my show, I got a call from a country right near Russia, and I can't think of the name of it. He used to be a member here, and he moved there.
Oh, yeah.
John
Hey,
John
Delgado.
Delgado.
John Delgavis. And he calls me up, he says, Mike, your tape was great. And we think, you know, he's taking it in this room, and here it is. Here it is in Russia, they see my show.
John is a photographer as well.
Yeah.
Somebody tell him.
Oh my God.
Okay, so, any other questions? I want to thank you all for coming out, and
Thank you, Jerry.
Oh, leave that out, I wanna see that.